Somehow I just remember running home. It was just too much.
After Angelina Jolie moved against her ex-husband by allegedly pressing assault charges against him, Brad Pitt appears to be more desperate than ever. According to sources, Brad Pitt is devastated by the news that Angelina Jolie is preparing to testify about alleged spousal abuse in their child custody dispute. Despite the fact that the Hollywood couple are officially divorced, they are still fighting for the custody of their 6 children. They're in the middle of a trial before a private judge. When Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt parted ways in 2019, it would have been impossible to predict that their relationship would transgress to the level that it has today. In March of this year, however, Jolie filed court filings suggesting that she and her children are eager to provide testimony as well as proof and authority in support of her charges against Pitt. In this case, the court records are confidential and sealed, but they were leaked to the Hollywood site The Blast. A source close to Pitt claimed that Brad is upset that Angelina has gone that way. He has taken responsibility for his actions and owned up to his past issues. He stopped drinking. The marriage was very passionate and toxic at times, and like all couples, they had fights, but also shared many good times together. He's talked about his drink and drugs problem during the time that they were together. During his marriage to Jolie, Pitt was never arrested or charged with any crime, and no police reports of spousal abuse were ever filed. He was involved in a nationally known incident while traveling on a private plane with his family, but he was never prosecuted. According to the source, Brad feels like he's being more and more isolated from his children, and he's devastated about it. The trial is expected to conclude next month, and the judge whom Jolie has attempted and failed to remove from the case will rule on custody. Judge John W. Oderkirk, who married Pitt and Jolie, has rejected any personal bias or prejudice towards any of the parties or attorneys in this case. According to Page 6, the kids have been interrogated by court-appointed therapists, but recent rumors that the oldest son, Maddox, delivered unfavorable testimony against Pitt are considered to be false. Pitt is reported to be saddened by his connection with Maddox, which has been described as complicated. Pitt was exonerated of child abuse accusations brought by the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services in 2016 in connection with an incident between him and Maddox on a flight from the United States to Europe. Following a lengthy inquiry, the DCFS concluded that there was no improper physical contact between them. After 2 years of marriage, the Maleficent actress filed for divorce in September 2016. In 2019, they were formally divorced. I was really on my back and chained to a system when child services was called. And after that, we've been able to work together to sort this out, Pitt told GQ 8 months later. And after that, we've been able to work together to get things out, he continued. We're both doing our best. I heard one lawyer say, no one wins in court, and it's just a matter of who gets hurt worse. And it seems to be true. You spend a year just focused on building a case to provide your point and why you're right and why they're wrong, and it's just an investment in vitriolic hate. I just refuse. Fortunately, my business partner concurs. It's just incredibly upsetting for the kids to see their family ripped apart. While Pitt was exonerated of all charges, he stated that the safety of his children remains his first responsibility. Here's what Brad Pitt had to say regarding it. There's a lot to tell them because there's understanding the future. There's understanding the immediate moment and why we're at this point, and then it brings up a lot of issues from the past that we haven't talked about. So our focus is that everyone comes out stronger and better people. There's no other outcome, Pitt explained. Jolie's representatives did not reply to calls for comments. Pitt's representatives declined to comment. According to an FBI complaint obtained by CNN via a source, Angelina Jolie accused Brad Pitt of hurting her and verbally assaulting their children during a violent argument aboard a private flight in 2016. The actress told agents in the heavily redacted report, which was released to both parties as a result of a Freedom of Information Act request, that her then-husband had been drinking when he told her to accompany him to the back of the plane after a tense interaction with one of their children while returning to California with Pitt and their 6 children following a 2-week vacation. The article redacts Pitt's name, but it refers to her spouse several times, and he was married to Jolie at the time of the alleged occurrence. She said that while there, they were in a toilet with a privacy door that prevented their children from seeing them. According to the complaint, Pitt grabbed her by the head, grabbed her by the shoulders, shook her, shoved her into the bathroom wall, and yelled numerous things at her, including, "You're effing up this family." When the FBI finished its investigation in 2016, Pitt was neither detained nor prosecuted in connection with the event. When CNN reached out to the FBI for a comment, Laura I. Miller, an FBI spokesperson, told CNN at the time, reported the following. In response to allegations made following a flight within the special aircraft jurisdiction of the United States, which landed in Los Angeles carrying Mr. Brad Pitt and his children, the FBI has conducted a review of the circumstances and will not pursue further investigation. No charges have been filed in this matter. According to the FBI investigation, Jolie informed agents that two of their children, whose names were deleted but acknowledged to be minors at the time, were outside the door weeping and asking, "Are you fine, mommy?" In reply, Pitt allegedly shouted back, saying, "No, mommy's not okay. She's ruining this family. She's crazy," the reports state. This, she claims, infuriated Pitt, and she claims she saw him go toward one of the children like he was going to attack. At which time she claims she got Pitt into a chokehold, which he tried to release by flinging himself back and shoving her into the chairs behind them, according to the report. Angelina Jolie is compelled to provide Brad Pitt greater access to their children. According to the report, Jolie received injuries to her back and elbow as a consequence of the incident, and she provided a photo of the elbow injury with the FBI. The report includes black and white printouts of the image as well as handwritten pages given by Jolie, allegedly from her children, including details of the alleged occurrence. The handwritten pages have been heavily censored. According to the story, Jolie also stated that Pitt continued to drink during the two-leg journey, subsequently dumping beer on her. They had a violent argument when they arrived in Los Angeles, and she said Pitt kept her and the children from departing the plane for 20 minutes. According to the source, Jolie sustained a rug burn-like lesion on her left hand in addition to her back and elbow. The redacted report includes a photo of the wound. She was questioned about a reported scrape on Pitt, which she stated in the report may have been inflicted by her despite the fact that she felt she had him in a choking grip. When contacted by CNN via email, an FBI representative stated no charges have been filed in connection with this incident, and further comment would be improper. While their marriage was dissolved in 2019, the legal battle over property and custody of their minor children has continued over the years, with a California appeals court ruling last year that a retired judge who had been hired to arbitrate the custody dispute should be disqualified due to a potential conflict of interest. It was just 2 months ago in June of this year when Brad Pitt decided he had more to say. In a June 2022 interview with British GQ, the actor talked about his recently discovered greater tranquility. "I've always felt very alone in my life," he told the publication. "Alone growing up as a kid, alone even out here. And it's really not until recently that I've had a greater embrace of my friends and family." Pitt also claimed that he had only recently discovered joy in his life. He claimed that he was constantly floating along with the currents before moving on to the next. Pitt revealed that he struggled with low-grade depression for years and that it wasn't until he came to grips with it and tried to accept both the good and the bad in himself that he was able to experience those moments of bliss. That was pretty much how a happy marriage turned into something really ugly. What's your take on the entire Brad Pitt versus Angelina Jolie issue? Do share your thoughts in the comments section below.